Hello, mahalo, as we look at OKO Knife Counter number 15. Once again, this is going to be in our green zone, straight ahead of us from 12 o'clock. Opponent's right-hand knife as he comes in with the low, straight knife, whether it's blade side up or blade side down, we need to get out of the way. We need to control our distance and our direction, as well as the opponent's weapon. So how do we do that? Left leg slightly forward, hands are up, outside obviously. Don't want those veins getting cut. So hey man, I don't want any problems. So the first thing we need to do as he comes in is to control our distance. I want to go to a zone of sanctuary, one of those being immediately in front of our opponent. As I do so, I'm going to double palm strike his arms. I'm going to control the weapon with my left hand. Deviate, deflect, control, and disarm. As I do so, my right hand is also going to come down in a baseball type grip. My right foot is going to step towards 1030, bring his arm up and over my head as I step the reverse with my left foot once again towards 1030 to control him. As I have him in this in-air armbar, I'm going to continue to put pressure, as well as now that his arm is here, I can strip the weapon, thumb is the gate. Once again, as it's here, knife is pointing down this way. I have both his hand and wrist here. Strip the weapon, and I can actually use it now, bring it up and over his arm, the blade side away, and as I rotate 45 degrees, bring his hand up, taking him down. A lot of interesting concepts and principles in this one. Number one, this is a now attack. Knives, clubs, guns, punches, and kicks are nows. In other words, when he moves, we move. There's distance control. I want to close the distance with my left foot and go towards a zone of sanctuary. We have deviating the weapon, deflecting the weapon, controlling the weapon, and then disarming the weapon. We have, once again, the blit and the shoulder stop to stop his forward momentum. We have a baseball type grip to control, as I want to make sure that I'm grabbing, as his hand is here, that I'm grabbing and controlling not just the wrist. If I'm just grabbing the wrist, there's a lot of range of motion, and he could nice and fillet my arm. I need to control both the wrist and the hand, and his range of motion will be severely limited. We have the push-pull. After we get the in-air armbar, we have the push-pull, as well as we want to hit him with the planet. That last 45-degree rotation, making sure that we strip the weapon and move away. One thing as a side note for those instructors, once a student has stripped the weapon, try not to just have them immediately hand the weapon back to their partner. There's been some incidents recently in which students have defended themselves with a knife, but because of the method of their training, they're used to having control of the weapon and then handing it back to their opponent. What I like and what I have personally been trying to do that I've seen online is, instead of one student handing the other student back the weapon, is instead placing it on the floor in front of them rather than handing the weapon back to the opponent. Because you revert to your lowest level of training in a situation. And in that lowest level of training, if you're just constantly handing back and forth the weapon between you and your partner, you may end up doing that on the street. With that, this has been a look at OKO Knife Counter number 15. Aloha, mahalo, and live pono.